This is now that I'm about to read the filing I made to the National Council for Senior Citizens. There was no way to make a check mark on the online document, so I highlighted and underlined the precedents that they have there. It's four that could be utilized. One was emergency, the second is priority, the third is welfare, and the fourth is routine. I selected emergency. The date was October 13, 2021, and the time was 2 p.m. I highlighted also report via email because when I called them, I didn't get a response. Description of situation or incident. This is what I wrote based on the information I had, because I had left for my own safety Kingston and was in another part of Jamaica. I was separated from my elderly father in February 2021 by threat from a young woman who entered his life to control him and take everything he has. Despite all my efforts to protect my father and prevent that from happening by my even alerting the police, no reports were taken. First sign of Freemason interference. I was responsible for managing the household, my father's health care, and his company, etc., since 2014. The woman told me she knew officials in the police commissioner's office, and if I do not come up under her control, as she had done to my father, all she had to do was make just one phone call, meaning I would be killed. I received other threats which the police did not take report of. I alerted other institutions about the matter, but no one responded. My father is 78 years old and has the following diagnoses. 1. Parkinson's disease. 2. Leukemia non-aggressive type. 3. Diabetes type 2. 4. Other blood disorder. 5. High blood pressure. My father never suffered a heart attack or needed hospitalization while he was under my care over the last 6 years. Since he has been in the woman's care, he suffered 2 heart attacks. Now, mind you, the woman was giving this so-called caregiving while my brother had moved in February of 2021. So it really wasn't the woman alone, it was under my brother's care. Suffered 2 heart attacks in late May 2021 and June 2021 and was treated at XYZ facility and the University of the West Indies Hospital. Now, these are the things my brother had told me. And he had also, when I tried to visit my father, suddenly the girl went there and discharged my father and removed him. So I never saw my father at neither of these hospitals. I was told that my father had the first heart attack after the woman suspiciously dropped him off at the house. Despite the helper's calls for help to the woman and my brother, it took the woman 2 hours to return to the home and my brother 5 hours to get to my father, who had purportedly went to his room saying he felt really sick, then vomited in his bed, became unconscious, and was found lying face down in his vomit by the maid. The woman purported to be my father's wife and told the police she lived in the family house for 9 years, portraying me to have been the visitor there. When I never heard of this woman or my father mention her until December 2020. She prevented me from visiting with and seeing my father in the hospital, saying she is his wife, and just a moment. And that my father lives at the work site, a trucking garage, which has a bed and an AC unit in it. I'm sorry, it seems that there is a disparity. I may be missing a page. Located at the worksite, a trucking garage, which he has a bed and an AC unit in it. He appears to be opting to sleep there more recently. My father has also told one of the workers that the woman also physically abuses him. Now, this woman is under the supervision of my brother, which is what I later came to find out. My father is suffering from dementia, which has significantly worsened under the woman and my brother's care. When the workers were asked to file police reports by me about what they see and hear, they say they're afraid to get involved. Many of the people involved on other levels are acting and treating my father as if he does not have dementia. The woman and her attorney even produced a psychiatric evaluation to that effect. Additionally, I am being slandered by this woman, really, who is my brother and sister, younger sister, and her cohort, that I was the one doing these things to my father and that I had planned to kill my father and take his wealth. Now, this is something I had to make known, is that if I had those intentions, why is it that once my brother moved back into the house, my father is so sick, requiring more than a week of hospitalization each episode? And during those 6 years I lived with my father, prior to our separation, my father never required hospitalization. Just ridiculous. However, the record will show that my father was never hospitalized while under my care, nor is my name on any of his assets over the last 6 years. My father approached me several times. This is my conversation here on the video now. To put my name on all of his assets, and I had to keep delaying him because I told him I would get killed for it by my brother, sister, and mother. Yesterday, my brother told me the water bill was not paid by the woman. The electricity will be disconnected soon also at the work site. I inquired as to the living conditions of my father, who is existing without water to bathe or flush the toilets. Also, it appears he spends most of his time in his bed. My brother stated it was disgusting, smelling like a public bathroom. What was he doing about it, having stolen all that money and embezzled all that money from the company? What was he doing about it, my brother? When I asked my brother to help facilitate my father's return to his house for his best care and safety, my brother, who took up residence in my father's house since February 2021, gets angry and does not want to talk about it. He does not want my father in his own house due to various verbal altercations which occurred there. The woman the woman and my brother, and whatever trickery they were doing, or it appears my brother hired this woman, and she saw that there was a much more to gain by colluding uh, and coercing my father than going along with my brother's plan. My brother also refused to file police reports against the woman because he states he does not want to make it seem that he's retaliatory. How does that make sense? These are the things my brother told me. My father was stopped from driving in around October last year due to his unsteady gait, severe hand tremors, and difficulty walking. My father insisted that he will still drive regardless. He cannot drive regularly, but more recently it appears he's being left alone to drive himself. Excuse me, which poses major risk to himself and others on the roadways. I'm deeply concerned for the care and well being of my father. His insight, judgment, and decision making skills are significantly impacted and impaired. Even his choice to live in poor conditions is evidence of his dementia, which a Dr. Carl Radlin claims he does not have. This psychiatric evaluation, this doctor, whatever his name is, pathetic, says my father does not have dementia. But this is the ploy they used to pretend my father is uh, of sound mind so they can continue robbing him. I'm asking please for your help and intervention in assisting my mostly helpless father. He's dependent. He's dependent on others for all his ADLs. And then I put another note. It was purported that the woman has done the same things to my father's blind elderly cousin, George. Emptied his bank accounts, stole his titles of vehicle and property, destroyed his house, took out life insurance policies on him, naming herself and her child as beneficiaries. And as a result, his wife has filed charges against her, which caused her to be arrested on August 17th, 2021, and September 8th, 2021. She has been using company monies to pay for her bail and personal criminal defense. In the interim, my father's care and well being have been severely impacted and neglected by hers and my brother's priorities, which were never him. Her name is so and so. Her DOB is December 6, 1997. The case is purported to be in court. And this National Council for Senior Citizens did nothing. I guess because under the rulership of